What's up, everybody? Here I am going to give you the best settings for you to use on the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta. I've been playing around with a lot of these settings, played a ton of this game, already level 20 as you can see in the top, and I've been having a ton of fun with it, and I think I have some settings that some people may not have played with that will give you a little bit of an edge above the rest of the competition. So let's just jump right into it without further ado. Controller, button layout. This is personal preference. If you need to customize anything, do whatever. If you play tactical, whatever. I use the DualSense Edge, so I have everything normal, so I just keep it on default. Stick sensitivity. This is super important, and I will tell you something that probably a lot of people don't tend to say. A lot of people say, oh, stick to 6.6, stick to 5.5, 7.7, whatever. But the important thing you do here is actually test this for yourself. There are some pros, specifically the one that comes to mind is Celium. He uses something crazy like, I think it was like 10.5 or something. And obviously that kid shoots better than half the people that play this game. Actually, more than half. So, play around with these settings. You might be one of those weird cases where you can shoot perfectly straight on 10.5 and, you know, hey, go for it. But do not just copy and paste this from other people. But if you're looking for a good place to start, 6.6, 7.7 is a good starting area until you can dial it in. Simplified controls off, low motor strain off, L1 button ping off, swap L1, R1, L2, R2. If you are using a controller with trigger stops, I'd use L2 and R2. That's what I have, so I don't have to press my triggers as far. If you're not, switch it to L1, R1. You'll thank yourself later. Controller vibration off, trigger effect off, dead zones. So I set my dead zones slightly on my controller itself, but what I would normally have is left stick min, maybe like 3, so it's not drifting. Max is 50. I don't need to push all the way to the side either way to get the full movement out of it. Right stick, I set to 1, max 99. Basically, just set the minimum to where your controller isn't doing inputs that you're not wanting. All you gotta do. Dead zones on your triggers, set them to 0. If you're shooting with your triggers. If you're not shooting with your triggers, you might set them like to 5 or something so you don't accidentally throw a nade or something random. Into the aiming tab, we're going to go to the sensitivity multiplier. I keep this all default. A lot of people like to drop it to like 0.95, 0.85, whatever. Kind of, again, personal preference. Advanced aiming settings, look at version, normal. Sensitivity, transition timing, instant. I've heard there's a glitch that you might change this to gradual if there's a delay on your ADS. I'm not sure. I've not really felt it, so I've just kept it the same. Aim response curve, keep it on dynamic, a 1.0. Dynamic is by far the best. Linear isn't bad. Standard, it feels a little old school. It doesn't feel as smooth in the gameplay. So dynamic, linear, either one. Custom sensitivity, presume, that's up to you, personal preference. Target aim assist. So in this game, they removed all the 4 modes of aim assist, and it's just one trigger. Keep it on. I don't have to explain that. I mean, it's aim assist. You want it on. Motion sensor behavior off. Advanced settings all off. None of that. Don't use any of that. Sprint assist. So I use tactical sprint assist, and I turn. This is the most important setting. Turn sprint assist delay all the way down. It will, so when you're using this normally, I think it's set to like 400 or something, so it'll take 400 milliseconds for the assist to actually kick in, and your movement feels delayed. It doesn't feel good, and then I keep the assist for sideways and backwards on. Mantle assist, off. I don't like that. Crouch assist, off. I don't need that. Automatic airborne mantle, partial. Slide and dive behavior. This is a one that I'm still playing with, but I think this is going to be the best setting again. Switching it to hybrid, it takes a good amount of time to get used to, but What this does is when you press your crouch button while you're moving, you're going to slide. Now what you have to do to dive is you'll have to click in your sprint and press the button to dive. It prevents any accidental dives, which I was having a lot when I was on tapped slide, just because I'd hold my crouch button, and yeah. If you can get used to it, hybrid's really nice. Auto door peek off, movement advanced settings. So, toggle, tactical sprint, grounded mantle. Actually, I'm supposed to have this off, but sprint restore, yeah. And most of the stuff's pretty normal. I use single tap run. I'm not a competitive player really anymore. Just play ranked play, so I'm not gonna sit here and break my controller by using double tap for tack sprint. Alright. Into the combat. Everything's pretty normal here. Don't think there's anything I've changed. Yeah, no, I don't. I think this is pretty much all normal. So, nothing changed throughout here. This is all personal preference things. If you want to change it, go for it. Moving into the graphics settings. 120 Hz refresh rate. If you're on console, have it on. Have it on if you can. This will make a night and day difference. So easier to see like what's going on, understand like just how your brain will be able to process everything a lot easier. Brightness, personal preference, safe area. I squeeze this all the way in, and some people might not like this. Personally, it puts everything a little bit closer to where I can see everything. I play on a 27-inch monitor, so I already play on a big monitor. So doing this just brings my mini map and everything in a little tighter, makes it easier to see. Eco mode off. And here's some of the big settings. World motion blur off, weapon motion blur off, depth of field off, fidelity FX cast on, and I set it to 100. A lot of people set it to 80. I personally just like how it looks on 100. Doesn't seem to give me too many performance issues, so keep it there. And on-demand texture streaming. They updated this in Season 5. I think Season 5 Reloaded for MW3. And it does the same thing for this, and I don't know why they did this. Set this setting to minimal. And the texture cache size, set this to small. I'm not sure if it automatically resets to auto, but just make sure that it is staying on small, and the download limit is as low as it'll possibly go. Because this is what's going to cause packet loss, and it's not great. Going over to the view, motion reduction. This is a good place you could start. If you turn it on, it'll turn on a couple settings that are really nice, but we're going to go through it anyways. I play on 105. 100 to 105 is kind of the sweet spot for maintaining the aim assist, plus, you know, being able to see things and feeling comfortable. ADS field of view affected. I've not tried independent in this game. It might be good, but I've been using a lot of the subs in this game, so affected is what I'm pretty much going to stick to. Weapon field of view, 1 wide, makes your gun look smaller, takes up less space on your screen. First person camera movement, you want to always set this to least, so you don't have unnecessary movement on your screen. It makes it easier for you to keep track of everything going on. Inverted flashbang, I keep this on, but that's totally up to you. Audio settings, this is personal preference. Set this to where you can hear everything clearly. I've had issues hearing footsteps, so I need to play with this some more, but it's a beta. I'm not really needing the sound whore all that much, so it'll be fine. I use VideoMic headphones. With my mix amp, I think TV might actually sound a little bit better for some reason, which doesn't make any sense to me. So just kind of play around with it, see what you like, see what works best with your setup. Reduce tinnitus sound, turn this on. Just makes flash and concussions not like deafen you. Hit marker sound. default. Here's where some new things are. So we're going to go into interface settings, and they have, where is it? So in readability, here's one of the most important settings. Also, you want to come into your HUD color palette. You could set this custom, customize it however you want. But the important thing you want to do here is color filter settings. Set it to filter 2, set it to both, and turn up the intensity. It just makes your game a little bit more colorful, makes it easier to see, that kind of stuff. So it's a really nice setting. And here is one of the cool things that I've not seen a lot of people talking about, which I love it. They have HUD presets. So this is your standard, what your HUD looks like, whatever. And as you see as I go through these, it just switches where things are located. And I don't think it's on the preset now because I've changed some stuff, but I actually used magnified because it makes my minimap bigger. And with my minimap being bigger, squeezed in a little bit, just makes it easier for me to look at. Super nice and everything. Oh, I think that just reset my settings. Okay, but minimap shape. So we'll just redo this. Minimap shape. Square, you get to see more of your minimap. Minimap rotation on, radar off, compass type. This really doesn't need to be on, so I just turn it off. HUD prompts, doesn't matter. Fade, text chat on if you want. Player names, I wouldn't do icon only, because if you do, it makes it kind of harder to see people sometimes when you see their name pop up. So I'd go with abbreviated or full name, but I wouldn't do icon only. Hit marker filters on, damage based hit markers on, and that is it for that. So that's a deep dive into my settings. I'm going to go into some class setups that I've been using here in the next day or two. The beta's been super fun. I think there's going to actually be a pretty decent skill gap in this game just because you can do some crazy things with this movement, and the lack of the total disappearing of aim assist at really close ranges. I think it'll make for an interesting year. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If it helps you out, let me know. I'm pretty consistently dropping like 3.0 KDs kind of stuff. I'm not like super playing for nukes. I'm just playing to have fun. But I've been pretty successful with these settings. So, let me know if you like this. If you do, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.